This is the Roller Coaster Podcast, and I'm your host, Lucy Q. Life is a wild ride. It has twists and turns. It's scary, exciting, and downright fun. So throw your head back, arms in the air, and come along with me for the ride.
Life is like a roller coaster, baby, baby. I wanna ride.
Thanks for joining me for the reboot of the Roller Coaster Podcast. I've thought a lot about what I wanted to say for the reboot episode, but life as it does, it kept happening and things got in the way. I said I'd get to it, but I never did. And even now, with all this time I have on my hands, I was still struggling as to what exactly I wanted to say for this reboot episode. And I can't help but think that when I first came up with the name for this podcast, I could never have imagined how life would be today. 2020 started off pretty rough for us, but I won't get into the details. We did make the mistake of asking what's next. And lo and behold, now for many of us, we're heading into week 4 of isolation because of COVID-19. The past few weeks have been the most insane ride that any of us have been on. And it's funny, as everyone is, we're spending a lot of time on Netflix. And I laughed because I think the number one movie last week was Contagion, which came out in 2011. And I didn't watch it then, but like everyone else, we figured if it's number one, we had to give it a chance. And I know if I'd watched it back then, I would have laughed and said, could never happen. But here we are. Personally, there are days that I'm fine. Other days, I just want to cry. And I do. My head is all over the place just trying to figure out what this new normal is. And I know I'm not alone because I've seen many posts from parents. They're tired, they're frustrated, they're stressed, they're pissed off. Everyone's just trying to figure out how to work from home while homeschooling, and really shitty internet doesn't help. I can't even imagine what the families are going through that have lost jobs. I know our government has promised money, but from what I can see, it's pretty slow in coming. Everything, we're social people, and all social contact outside of the people that live under your own roof is gone. And all of this, it just, stress levels are at an all-time high. And I'm not seeing a whole lot of resources out there to help people cope. And for me, my biggest fear is that we're facing a major mental health crisis. If you think about it, we're all grieving. At a bare minimum, we've lost the way life used to be. We have no idea when or how things will be normal again, or even what normal is going to look like. We're just holding on and praying that soon things are going to turn around. And the truth is, we have no idea. And the thought of that is scary. For me, I'm okay most of the time, but for no reason, panic will sink in. Try to talk myself out of it, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But this past Saturday, I was a mess. All I wanted to do was cry. It wasn't any just one thing. I just wanted to cry. It didn't matter what anyone said. Didn't matter what they did. I just wanted to cry. And that's hard. Because as a parent, you want your kids to be okay. And how can your kids be okay if you're the one crying? And I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. I've seen people posting happy pictures of pancakes and whipped cream and happy family breakfasts and gatherings. Meanwhile, they're texting me that they're losing their fucking minds. No one could have prepared for something like this. Okay, like the doomsday people on Netflix who have a year's worth of canned goods. Sure, okay, they've got the basic necessities sorted out. But mentally, you can't plan for this. And the one thing I do have is a voice. And if I can share and help one person, then for me, I can find purpose for all those days that I feel like shit. So I'm going to do whatever I can to bring as many ideas and tools, resources, suggestions, anything that's helping me or helping someone else. I'm going to bring that to anyone and everyone that wants to listen. And if you want to get involved, if you have ideas, things that have worked, if you know of a particular resource, or if you're a professional, whatever you have to offer, this is the time. This is where we can come together and help each other. Send me an email, hello@therollercoasterpodcast.com. I'll put the email in the description. I know that's a bit of a mouthful. This is a time for community. This is a time to share. If you want to stay in touch with me, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram, The Roller Coaster Podcast. Please share this podcast with as many people as you can. We are so good at hiding how we're feeling. You may know someone who is struggling but too scared to say anything. Who knows who you might help just by sharing this. So until next time, I'm sending my socially distant hugs. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Roller Coaster Podcast. Want to chat or share your ideas about today's show? Pop me an email at hello@therollercoasterpodcast.com. Don't forget to connect with me on Facebook and Instagram at The Roller Coaster Podcast. Our theme song, Roller Coaster, was performed by The Lucky Setback. Audio editing by the one and only Jeff Quigley of Quigley Creator.
Life is like a roller coaster, baby, baby. I wanna ride, 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 ride. Life is like a roller coaster, baby, baby. I wanna ride, 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 ride. Roller coaster. Ride, ride. Roller coaster.